I've never been the type to believe in ghosts. No Ouija boards, no tarot cards, none of that. But what happened in the fall of 2018 made me question everything I thought I knew about the world. I had just gotten a new job in a small town called Eldridge, a quiet place tucked between pine woods and forgotten highways in Pennsylvania. Rent was cheap, people were friendly, and I was ready for a fresh start after a long breakup. The house I found was old, Victorian style, with faded blue paint, cracked windows, and a porch swing that creaked in the wind even when no one touched it. The real estate agent said it had history, which is usually code for someone died here. But the price was right, and I didn't care. I should have cared. I moved in on a gray Thursday afternoon. The moment I stepped into that house, it felt wrong. Not scary, just heavy, like the air was thick with something I couldn't name. I chalked it up to nerves and a lack of furniture. That night, I slept on the floor with just my sleeping bag, surrounded by moving boxes. Around 2:17 a.m., I remember because I checked my phone. I heard footsteps upstairs, slow, deliberate, heavy, but I was alone. The mirror. The second week, things started escalating. I found mirrors fogged up in the mornings like someone had taken a hot shower, except I hadn't. I lived alone, and I never touched the upstairs bathroom. One morning on that fogged mirror, I saw handwriting. Just one word: leave. I laughed. I actually laughed, thinking maybe I was so lonely my brain had decided to prank itself. That night, I heard something new, whispering, not just in the house, from inside my bedroom. It came from the old closet at the far end of the room. The closet I never opened because the door was stuck. But that night, it wasn't stuck. It was wide open. I stared into the darkness for what felt like hours until something moved. Not a shape, just a darker patch of dark, and a sound I will never forget, like someone dragging their fingernails along the inside of a wooden box. After that night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak, every shadow made me feel like I was being watched. I tried to rationalize it. Old houses make noise, right? Maybe there's a rat? Then one morning, I noticed something behind the wallpaper in the hallway. A lump, like something was stuffed inside the wall itself. I pulled it back, expecting maybe old insulation or wood rot. What I found was a small, square peephole, and behind it, an empty cavity with scratch marks on the inside. Someone had been watching the hallway from inside the wall. I called the landlord immediately. He was quiet for a moment, then sighed. Look, I wasn't going to tell you this, but the guy who lived there before you, he sort of vanished. No break-in, no note, just gone. My blood ran cold. Did anyone ever check the walls? He hung up. That night, I followed the sounds, tapping, scratching, up to the attic. I hadn't been up there yet. The air smelled like rot and dust. I brought my phone for light. In the corner, hidden behind a pile of old chairs and broken lamps, was a trap door leading down. Not the main floor, a secret sub-level between the floors of the house. I didn't want to go in, but something inside me whispered, "You have to." Inside was a tiny room, barely large enough to stand in. The walls were covered in deep gouges, like someone had tried to claw their way out. And in the center was a child's drawing, yellowed with age, stuck to the wall with a rusty nail. It showed a man, tall, thin, no eyes, no mouth, just a wide smile drawn in red crayon. The word underneath said, "Daddy." I ran. I didn't grab anything. I left the house that night and never looked back. 3 weeks later, I saw a news report. They had found a body in the walls during demolition. Male, early 30s, the same age as the previous tenant. And carved into the wood near where they found him was one word: mine. People ask me why I never moved back, why I left everything I owned behind. I tell them the truth. Because some houses aren't haunted by ghosts. They're haunted by the people who once lived there and never truly left.